We all hope that he gets healthy as quickly as possible. Here's Bailey Zappe, who all of America got to see this past week in Green Bay. Most of America had never heard his name before. But those of us who do the draft.
I know the Hilltoppers.
The Western Kentucky. This kid set like every passing record there is in college. Parenthetically, facially and otherwise, he looks exactly like Mac Jones, maybe in almost a more athletic version of Mac Jones. So if one were to say, Graziano, and we're sorry that Brian Hoyer, of course, is in the concussion protocol, but that this might wind up being, getting to see what this young man can do, might wind up actually being a little bit of a blessing in disguise.
It could be. And look, what you hear from Patriots people is the game wasn't too big for him at Lambeau Field the other night when he had to go in there and try and beat Aaron Rodgers. That says a lot. I know they like him. I know he's a young player. They feel he has a long way to go. If he does get this start, as looks likely against the Lions this week, I think the Patriots' ideal plan would be to not ask a ton of him. They really feel like they have something going right now with their running game, and I think they'll continue to lean on that. But they're not, based on what they saw last Sunday, they're not worried about him getting in the game and screwing it up, which is a big thing, right? I mean, when you're talking about a rookie quarterback who's a late-round pick that wasn't supposed to be playing at this point.
Well, when you consider that they're playing against the Lions also this weekend, and let me look this up, make sure I have it right. The Lions give up 74 points a week. So, I mean, they have a good chance, I think, to get a little something done. Tannenbaum, how about it? How about you were high on the Patriots before the season. Obviously, the Mac Jones injury is a setback. Is it over? Is this season over for New England a quarter of the way in?
Not at all, because they know how to play. They have two really good running backs. Their defense is coming along. They may have hit on Jack Jones, so I don't think they're going to win the division. But the playoffs, to me, are now the questions with 7 teams making it. And Bailey Zappe, to me, as Dan just said, he's going to control the game. They're not going to beat themselves. They should be able to score against the Lions, as you just alluded to. And they have a number of winnable games here, Greeny. So, to me, they're an interesting team. They're going to be a hard out. They have a very low ceiling, but their floor may be higher than we expect.
You said before the season, Bart, that you thought the Patriots would finish last in the division. Do you still feel that way?
First of all, Greeny, you got me stuck at parenthetically. I'm trying to look it up so I can.
Parenthetically.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
Yeah,
as an aside.
Yeah, the Patriots are parenthetically. Okay.
Okay.
Listen, I don't think they're going to win. I think that they're a team that really, you can't go in there and do things that hasn't been done in football. You can't go in there and have a offensive coordinator by a committee. You can't be bad at the draft if you don't have a franchise quarterback. And I think this team is void of talent. They don't have anybody special on offense that you have to prepare for. And yeah, you can try and win football games by running the ball and playing great defense. That'll get you about at 500, maybe a little bit above. But that's not enough to win in this division. We talk about in this division is where all the special young quarterbacks are in the AFC. And when you look at what you have, you're trying to put a Toyota Camry up against Ferraris and Lamborghinis, and it's just not enough to work, especially in New England. It's over.
I think it's likely that they don't make the playoffs based on the talent level on their roster. I think that they don't have a lot of difference-making players at key positions, and I think that's going to end up costing them. But in the short term, they feel like they can operate the game, and they were right there with the Packers on the road, so that's not to be ignored.
Only counts and
well, I get it.
You can't have it both ways, though. You were telling me the Packers barely beat them, and that's an indictment on the Packers. Like it's not, they're.
We'd be having a very different conversation if they had won that game, which they should have done 5 different ways.
Here's the business part of it, and Tannenbaum understands this more than most, being an executive. That if if Hoyer comes back and they put Zappe on the practice squad, people will snatch him up quickly.
Oh, yeah.
So now you have to protect him because everybody knows he has to be on the active roster.
And Mike T, you were on to Bailey Zappe before anybody else, and you barely had to leave your house to do it. Where did you see him?
In the Boca Raton Bowl, Greeny, where he's thrown, he had 62 touchdowns in college, and he is a really good game manager. So, again, we'll see where it goes, but they had Miami down to a 1-possession game, Green Bay down to a 1-possession game. This team, I'm telling you, they're going to be hard to beat coming down the stretch.
I think that very few people have ever gotten rich betting against Bill Belichick. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.